Banging and crashing round since the flaming crack of dawn.
Who is?
You is, no consideration.
Only making a cup of tea.
That and clonking round your bedroom since God knows what time.
Can't go to Lav now.
Oh, that would woke me.
You got to be up in half an hour any road. What's the fuss?
That half hour makes all the difference between me being human and me being a monster for the rest of the day. That's what all the fuss is about. What's up anyway?
Couldn't sleep.
Well, dim as I am, I fathom that lot out. I think you're balmy.
Ta.
Yeah, for letting that bitch worry you.
Wouldn't it worry you? Or do you often have visits from wives what's citing you as correspondent in the divorce case?
Co-respondent for the umpteenth time. Yeah, only every other week.
Yeah, that's not far from truth from what I've heard in the past. Elsie, I don't want any more arguments. Just get off me back. I've had enough. More than.
Now, why do you think I was waving the bee stick at you? To get some sense into your daft little nut. There's no sense in having a nervous breakdown over this. The divorce is months away. And in the meantime, we'll work something out.
Yeah, we could push her under 97 bus. Or him. Bag's me him.
Oh, really? I'm not up to this sort of conversation at this time in the morning. I can't cope with it. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll go back to bed and we'll have a good natter when I come in tonight and sort something out. All right?
Well, she's not eloping because there's no lad with ladder. You going on your holidays?
Trisha's.
You stopping?
Yeah.
Well, buses from here go up through Pendleton to Bury and Whitefield. Trisha lives in the opposite direction altogether.
You can change at Salford. Rita, please.
You had your breakfast?
Why?
Come on. I know where this great best burnt toast in Northern Hemisphere.
I don't want any.
Come on. You've missed bus anyway. Print another for 20 minutes, honest.
I'll have a cup of tea.
Right. Tastes like nectar at this time in the morning.
8:20.
Brewing up time?
You've only just got here.
You'd think Mr. Fairclough would get here on time, wouldn't you? I mean, we've got a big job on.
It's the army's to blame, you know. Trained him like a robot. We go over the top, but 1100 hours precisely.
Punctuality is the politeness of kings and the working man's bread and butter.
And jam.
And jam.
Oh, he's right, though. I mean, it's been hard enough keeping this contract up to schedule with you as semi-invalid without them two turning up hours late.
Who's a semi-invalid?
Well, you can't do much with that, can you?
Look, he's probably overslept or something. I think I'll nip round and pick him up. Will you be here when I get back?
I can't do much else, can I? Seeing as how my missus has consigned me to Scrappy.
Oh, well, you feel at home, though, won't you? With all the other odds and sods.
He's getting too big for his size 9's, him, you know. Right.
Right what?
I'll show you how much I can't do with this. Semi-invalid, am I?
Able-bodied, are you?
Totally.
Right then. You brew up. Hello. Hey, have you got a job for a one-handed workman? You're on.
Have you seen Gail?
No, not since yesterday. Why, haven't you?
She's gone.
Gone? Where?
Well, if I knew where, I wouldn't be here, would I?
What do you mean, gone?
Gone, run off.
Oh, heck.
She just left me a note saying not to worry. Like as if.
Well, she'd be at Trisha's.
Oh, I do hope so. Have you got the number?
Yeah, hang on.
And you'd really no idea you were married?
God's honour.
And you never thought to ask?
Well, I suppose it crossed my mind he might have been.
But?
Well, he'd been having this thing with Sylvia, that's Mrs. Matthews, long before I came on the scene. And I thought, well, if she's going around with him, she'd not if he were married. I might be wet behind the ears, but not a woman like her.
What makes you think a woman like her wouldn't go out with somebody else's husband? She's just the type.
That's sick.
Gail, love, it happens.
And I get dragged into the game for a bit of variation?
All right, don't come over all dramatic and hard-bitten. It doesn't suit you. You had a good time, didn't you?
Did I?
Well, you said you enjoyed him. You said for a few weeks, and I quote, it was fabulous.
So I should be thankful for the good times I had with Roy and accept being cited in his divorce case as part of the price.
By good times, I'm not talking about swanky places he took you.
I know.
I mean, them days, the few times that you felt up there, 3 feet off the ground, special.
Yeah, did make me feel special. More than any fella's done before.
But will again.
I'll not be that easily conned again.
Listen, Gypsy Rose Littlewood's going to make a prediction. In 5 years' time, correction, In 12 months' time, this'll all be just something there happened.
I can't stop here, Rita.
Now, where will you go?
London.
Like a million other silly kids. Do you think you'd be any better off there? Lonely and broke in London?
I can get a job. I'm not that
Jobs
stupid.
are not that easy to come by, haven't you heard?
I'd heard.
Listen, constructive suggestion coming up. Do you know what you do next?
No.
You go upstairs, take your jeans off, and you get in my bed and you get yourself some sleep, which you badly need, judging by bags under your eyes. They're worse than mine, and that's saying something.
And then?
And then we do next thing. Take life in little bits, instead of big chunks. Only give you indigestion. Okay.
Rita,
Yeah?
you'll not tell no one, will you?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of hiring one of them loudspeaker vans, you know, with a thing on the top. Better still, Hilda Ogden. She's cheaper and more efficient.
Betty, what was the name of that fishman what fancied you?
Fishman?
Yeah, you remember he fetched your salmon that time.
Bert Goslin. And he was a master fishmonger.
Hey, I thought they only had master butchers and bakers.
And fishmongers.
Oh, right. So he's the highest ranking fishman in the land. Is he still around?
As far as I know. What?
Does he still fancy you?
I haven't the faintest idea. I've not seen him for months. What's brought this sudden interest on?
I just happened to be making this course a little supper for me and this friend tonight,
Friend.
who doesn't eat meat,
That you're trying to impress.
who does like lobster.
Which does cost the earth. And that's the reason why you're asking me.
If you still have friendly relations with our local friendly fishman, yes.
I've never had relations with Bert Goslin. Friendly or otherwise. I've never encouraged him in the slightest.
If you had done, she might have got a free lobster.
Well, I've only got one suggestion to make. Give him tin crab. Or find yourself a bloke with less expensive taste.
Hey, I've got less expensive taste. I'll make do with a bacon butty. I've got a night off and out to do with it.
Are you 6'2" tall, with dark hair going elegantly silver at the sides and a voice like Richard Burton's?
No.
No. Neither is he.
Oh. Here's look. Oh, 22, please.
What's up with you?
Nothing. Well, it don't look like nothing to me.
Look, if you don't want to serve me, I can go elsewhere.
All right. Pardon me for breathing.
Oh, I'm sorry, kid. It's just that I'm worried sick. I have been all morning, and shutting that shop on my own, there's not much I can do except make telephone calls, and all of them useless.
Well, what about?
Oh, it's young Gail. She's got herself in a bit of trouble, and she's run off. I don't know which of us is balmiest, her for running off or me for worrying, and God help me, I am.
Well, as a matter of fact...
Better. I woke up and had a bath. Oh, and I used some of your bubble bath. Hope you don't mind. Oh, hello.
I thought you'd throw yourself in the cup, madam.
And a lettuce for him. One for him. And a lettuce for him. Radishes for him. For him. And radishes for him.
Give mine to one of the others. I can't stand that stuff.
They're bursting with vitamins.
I'm already bursting with vitamins. I don't need any more.
Bursting with bugs, more like it. This place will be like a flipping compost by the time you lot have done. Have you got no sense? Look at the mess.
Look, they all help, so it's got to be shared in public. Justice has to be seen to be done.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll take his radishes and a bunch of these young onions.
All right. What did you do to help?
A lot. I didn't interfere.
She deserves the lettuce and all for a cheap. Go on, Albert. Bust a gut. Give something away for once.
Right, well, you can have that. Now, how much would that cost you in shop?
I don't know. I haven't bought one this week.
Well, you go and find out the price of that, and you can have it for 3p less.
Hey, you're never charging, eh?
Well, only for price at seed and labour. I'm not making any profit.
Well, I'm not going to lower myself by arguing, but next time I make some of those scones that you're so partial to, Albert Trotlock, don't come sniffing round, unless you're determined to pay for the electricity, the ingredients and the labour.
Hey, Mr. T, that weren't very nice.
Look, I'm running a business, not a charity.
Shall I put kettle on while we're quiet?
If you like.
Tea or coffee?
Tea. I've had about 15 gallons of coffee this morning.
Oh, Elsie, look, I've said I'm sorry. I know I should have told you where I was, but I didn't, that's all.
Look, I'm not blaming you. You were in no state to do anything about anything, but at least she should have had the sense to pick up the phone and let me know.
Don't blame Rita either. She was only trying to help, and she did help.
Well, at least she stopped you from running off. I'll give her that.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure my courage weren't running out anyway. She says time to take risks is when you're feeling fighting fit, not where I was.
Yes, well, I'm with her all the way. Oh, look, why do you think I was so worried about you, you daft little nit? Any other circumstances and you'd packed your spotted handkerchief and gone off to seek your fortune, I would have shook you by the hand and wished you luck.
Yeah, well, I think I'll postpone my search for adventure. I've had enough drama. I just want some peace and quiet.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us. Tell you what, I'll make the tea. You can go to the cake shop and get us a couple of vanilla slices. We deserve a treat.
What about the calories?
Oh, shut my eyes while I eat them and then my stomach won't know.
Hello.
Oh, Mrs. Boardman, the trousers, wasn't it? Well, they did come in and I saved your pair. Check, wasn't it? Yes. I'll get you one. Could you hang on a minute, love? I'm on my own. The girls just had to slip out. It won't be a moment. Hello? Sylvia Separate? Oh, Mrs. Matthews. Yes? Oh, yes, in about an hour. Yes. Well, we'll have it ready for you. Yes. Goodbye.
The Queen always had one of them sort, dark blue, you know, with lovely cream lining.
Oh, they're flipping enormous then. Mind you, I think I'd rather have something plain than one of them with little flowers on. I think patterns look very out of place on a pram.
Yes, but you could have a pattern sunshade.
Nothing looks nicer than pushing a pram out with a sunshade with little fringes on it. Baby with little brown arms and legs.
Peggy, Nick, what are we having?
Eh?
A baby with little brown arms and legs. What colour's the rest of it going to be?
From lying in the sun, fool.
It does babies no harm to be outside in all weathers, providing they're well wrapped up. Barring fog, you know.
Yeah.
Fog never did anybody any good, especially babies. But fresh air's always healthy, even if it's cold.
I'm going to get one of them canvas sling jobs and hump it round on me back.
You are not.
And it's going to learn from birth how to be a plumber and joiner.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be a plumber or a joiner. It's going to have a profession.
You give birth safely to a healthy baby, God willing, and then you can fight over whether it's going to be a dustman or a king.
Or a queen.
I'll tell you one thing. It's not trolling around in one of them. Overpriced, oversized contraptions.
Oh, I suppose you'd be satisfied to put 4 wheels on an orange box and shove it round in that.
Very good idea, Mrs. Sharples. Very practical.
You think he's joking?
I'm not. Cost of one of them things, you could afford to put a deposit down on a sports car.
And what's more overpriced than them things?
But what's she coming for?
She's coming to bring in some skirts she's got. Why shouldn't she? It is her shop.
You don't think she's coming to see me?
I doubt it very much. Why should she?
Well, she's heard about the divorce.
Technically, the divorce has got naught to do with it.
Technically.
Oh, will you get on with clearing this rail and stop thinking the whole world revolves right between you, Thornley, and his flipping divorce? He doesn't, you know. The whole world is going quite happily about his business.
Yeah, I suppose I am a bit obsessed. Where do you want these?
Stick 'em over there for the time being. What did you do with that box of panty girdles we were going to reduce? Hello, girls. A quiet spell. Well, you could say that. Yeah, these are skirts.
Yes, they're first-class line, drip dry and virtually uncrushable. I'm taking a couple with me on the cruise. They're ideal for packing.
Cruise?
Just a few days of Christmas, the Canaries and back. I flatly refuse to Christmas at home this year. It's just one long round of entertaining, don't you find? Well, I'll love you and leave you. I have an appointment at 3:30. Roots.
Oh. Is that all?
Okay.
Oh, I mean the skirts. Just the one box, was it?
Oh, I am trying to charm the manufacturer into letting me have another couple of dozen, but it's a bit like getting blood out of a stone.
Oh, thank God for that. We're having kittens.
Well, just get on with clearing that rail.
This doesn't know anything about it, does she? And if she is, she's not saying out. Do you know, I think I'll have another vanilla with my afternoon cuppa. Or shall I have an eclair this time?
Well, now I've naught to do. I've informed Bet I'm available for the entire evening, but she slung me a death.
Well, there must be something better to do than prop this bar up every night. So why do you do it then? Well, a bit of company. And same as he said, there's no else to do. That's a bit pathetic, isn't it?
Well, what about you? You're here, aren't you?
Yeah, well, Irene is not a bad lass, but she's better at a distance, if you know what I mean.
I think I know what you mean.
Well, I live here and I work here, and I'm not spending my flipping night off here.
You know what your trouble is, don't you? All three of you.
Go on, give us your expert diagnosis.
You've got no initiative. You're all talk and no action.
Who's all talk?
You have. Terry here suggested that you all took up angling. You got very enthusiastic for about 5 minutes, but did you do out about it? Did you, like? Frankly, I think you're all going to dogs.
You know, I'd clock her one if I didn't think she'd clock me one back.
Hey, going to dogs? That's exactly what we are doing.
What?
Oh, the dog's dog track. Why did I think of that? Look, first race, 7:30. We'll have a bite to eat en route and then the total limit, so come on,
Well, I have to
lads.
get changed. I can't go like this.
Now, when do we make our first door-to-door delivery?
Well,
then?
the cart's available, Albert. I can change me round.
Now, I've been doing a bit of costing now. I reckon if we sell the spuds loose in £3 lots, we'll have to borrow a set of scales off this mate of mine on the market. Now, he won't charge us much, and if I know him, they'll weigh in our favour anyway.
Yeah, well, we don't need no scales. I can't guess, Albert. But we don't need no scales because we're not selling taters. Eh? At least you're not. I am.
Oh, you've not gone to cut us out, have you?
As far as I can remember, I never did cut you in. And Mrs. Sharples here has come forward with a very good suggestion on this occasion.
Oh, that's very helpful, Mrs. Sharples. What is it?
Well, Albert sells direct to the Derby and Joan clubs. It's still cheaper than the shops, and he's doing a good turn and earning the gratitude of folk in the same boat as himself.
But how does he get the stuff down to Derby and Joan club? He still hasn't solved his transport problem, has he?
I haven't got one. Folks come to the allotment and pick the stuff up there.
What? Old age pensioners humping great sacks of veg from the canal bank?
Well, most of them have got families and grandchildren that'll help, and Ken says he'll muster some of the lads from the youth club to help them that haven't.
You've got it all organised, haven't you?
Yeah, I reckon we have.
If it doesn't fit, we'll change it, providing you keep the receipt.
Thank you very much.
Ta-ta.
Sure you can manage?
How far on can I go in 10 minutes? Go on, get home and make the tea.
It's not my tea I want, it's a double gin and tonic. Sure you give me a right day, lady.
Just off, Mrs. Howard.
Well, yes, it is nearly 6 and Gail's going to stop behind. I've got an appointment.
Oh, that's perfectly all right. Gail can help me hang these up, can't you, dear? He did me a favour and let me have another dozen.
Oh, splendid. Well, ta-ra.
Good night, Mrs. Howard. Well, it is almost 6.
I'll get some hangers and...
Not for a moment. I'd like a word with you, Gail.
Yes?
Well, you've been a right little fool, haven't you?
Have I? What over?
Oh, don't you come the innocent with me, dear. It's a little late in the day for that, isn't it? Roy's told me the whole sordid little story.
Wasn't sordid till his wife came on the scene.
Oh, you mean she should have turned a blind eye to his carrying on with you?
No! I never knew she existed. I never knew he was married. Honest, Mrs. Matthews, that's the truth.
That's not the point, dear. Not the point at all.
Flaming miles away.
I'm telling you, this is near as you'll get. You'll never park near the track that'll be absolutely jam-packed. Now, come on, it's only a stride. Exercise will do us all good. Follow me, lads, come on. Well, I don't... Come on. You must be kidding. Come on, Al.
And I suppose it's... Oi, did you get the lobster?
What lobster's this?
I'll bet it's entertaining.
Can I come? No, you can't. It's an intimate little late supper. You know what they say about 3 being a crowd? No problem. You keep away. Anyway, it's not lobster. Cod fingers. Oh, you're right. I mean, if you don't know the difference between lobster and cod, I'd be wasted on him. Cod hurts.
I'd like to go on the dogs with them, you know.
Why didn't you?
Wasn't asked.
It's never stopped you before.
Well, I tried tapping Arilda for a bob or two. It's no good going there with an empty pocket.
Nah, the bookies aren't very partial to that, you're right. What did she say?
I don't know where she learned all them words.
Oh, heck. Seems to be shut.
I'd say so, wouldn't you, Terry?
Well, at a rough guess and without consulting the experts, yes, I'd say that's a pretty first summing up of the situation, Al.
I was sure it were tonight. I could have swore it were.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us.
He drags us all this way for note.
It's tomorrow.
Hey, what do you suggest we do then, Fred? Camp here on pavement for 24 hours?
Well, look, why don't we come tomorrow? I'll switch with Bet and do 7 days at Rovers. You know, now that we've all got worked up to it, like. Unless you two can think of something else to do.
Well, I'm not parking 5 mile away again.
Come on, there's a nice little booze up the road. Landlady's a pal of mine.
I bet it's shut.
Thank you. Hey, I were hoping to see you.
Oh, just been over a wash and freshen up. I'm absolutely jiggered. Give us a large gin and tonic, kiddie. Desperate.
Hey, I was Gail. Has she calmed down?
Oh, you found her then? Well, to be more accurate, Rita did.
What happened?
Well, it's a long story, but it's all right now.
Do you know, if I hadn't had to go out with papers this morning, God knows where she'd have ended up. Just shows you.
Yeah. Hello, love. Just talking about you. What would you like to have? Nice big sherry, but you up.
Ah, you're all right now, aren't you, kid? Between your two mother ends, we've got you sorted out, haven't we?
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Well, now, look, we know you've got your problem to face, but that's a long way off, and when it comes, you'll take it in your stride.
Meanwhile, like I said this morning, just get on with today.
It's today I'm worried about. Mrs. Matthews has just given me the sack.
Oh, got out of bed, have you, at last? You know it's 1:30, don't you?
Put the kettle on.
Do you want some of this ham?
No, thanks.
Put that down and come in here.
I'm only gonna put...
I said put that down and come in here. Sit down.
Elsie, I've got a split.
You'll have a split in something else by the time I finish with you. You do know what you're doing, don't you? You're hitting so hard at Madam Matthews that I'm getting all the good tidings. You do realise that you should have been in that shop this morning working out your notice, don't you? And instead of that, I'm there on my own, answering the telephone calls, delivering men every 5 minutes, and the odd customer.
I'm not hitting back. I just can't face her, Elsie. If you'd have heard her last night...
Oh, I can guess. And what I guess doesn't impress me very much. Oh, come on, Minnie Mouse. She's naught to run away from. And that's another question. Where were you running to?
Oh, anyway away from here. I know my way around, you know. I'd have been in London now if it hadn't been for Rita.
Well, you thank your lucky stars. Some people go daft with nobody caring. Now, come on, get that rabbit food down you. Get upstairs and get your glad rags on, and I'm taking you to work, so prepare yourself.
What regiment were you in? The King's Own Profiteers?
Look, I fought for this land. Now I'm making it pay me back a bit.
Yes, but it's not the land that's paying, it's the Derby and Joan clubs.
Yeah, well, it's not their money. They get an allowance from council.
What they get from the council wouldn't pay for fresh air, let alone vegetables, and what you're charging them.
It's cheaper than what they can get in shops.
And so they should be, and all you should be selling at cost. I bet you didn't set you back a penny to grow that cabbage, and how much are you charging for it?
That's got nothing to do with you. But when you're trying to work out the cost, just remember that there's the price of the fertiliser, and me tools, and me allotment fee. You don't get note for note, you know.
Not from you, you don't. These are pensioners, you know. You're killing your own kind.
Look, you won't be told, will you? Work it out for yourself, but don't forget the allotment fee.
Oh, shut up in there. I can't hear myself think.
One more word out to you and I'll be over that counter.
Hey, she will and all, you know. She's gone bionic.
I have that, love. Secret operation on the National Health at Weatherfield General.
Hey, which arms are in bed?
This one, cock. Have a listen.
Hey, it's chicken. Hang on. It's chiming the half hour.
There's no expense, sir.
I'll finish with you now. From now on, it's me and you, Betty.
Yeah, you know, better off with her, lad. She's gone bionic and all. She does all slow motion bits.
I'll slow motion you in a minute. Yes, Dan.
Hey, get off him, he's mine. As I live and breathe. Stanley Ogden, how's that for eyesight?
What's going on?
You might well ask. $6 million and cheap at half the price.
Can I have a pint?
Betty? What? Pint of oil for Stan and give him the best.
Oh, take no notice. She's having one of her funny turns.
Aye, we're better off with fellas.
Hey, come and do dogs with us tonight, Stan.
I'd like to. We're going to make a fortune.
You must be joking.
Right, you're in the syndicate. Give us your tenner.
Tenner?
We're all chipping a tenner apiece in. Al's the treasurer.
Well, if it's a tenner, I'll have to think about it, you know.
Fred, get your ear to his chest quick. His computer will have started.
Hey, it's going like the clappers.
What the hell's going on?
Were these what you wanted, Mrs. Howard?
Yeah, that's right.
You don't sell fun furs, do you?
No, love.
It were fun furs we were after, really.
We don't sell motorbikes or cobs of coal either.
All right. There's still a lot of new stock to be ticketed, Mrs. Howard. I think perhaps it would be better if you stayed with me tonight.
Yes, I think I better.
I shall be back before you close.
My turn for the push next.
It's no laughing matter, Elsie.
Who's laughing?
Will you two shut that door? It's blowing a rotten gale in here.
It's God's good fresh air, Rita. It's what the likes of us need. Good fresh air, petrol fumes, and a touch of the gasworks.
What are you doing any road?
I'm helping him, aren't I? On account of him being illiterate and only able to read pictures.
Come on, let me find this.
Look, if I say
thing.
I've seen it, I've seen it. Look, here it is. HCB pram for sale. Cream and brown. Hardly used. No reasonable offer refused. Apply within. And that's her, Mrs. Within.
Could I have the name and address, please?
Honest.
Well, of course, honest. It'll be a little gem by the time I finish with it.
Hey, does Deirdre know?
Look, I'm the romantic type. I like to give me missus surprises. What I go for, she goes for. Now, come on, be a good girl. Give me that address.
Miss Sunderland.
Miss Sunderland, you better watch yourself.
Oh, will you do us a favour and belt up?
16 Meadow Avenue. Off Upper Edward Street behind Town Hall.
I live round here, you know.
And you had seen you before?
Ta.
See ya. Does he really think Deirdre will go for a second-hand pram?
Well, you heard what he said. What he goes for, she goes for. They know nought about us, do they? Nought. And let's hope and pray they never find out.
I have still got that bucket under my sink, and you know what they say about constant dripping.
Oh, don't tell me not had that leak mended yet.
OK, I won't, but it'd be a lie. Oh, come on, kid, it's not good enough. It's been over a week since.
Look, we don't know whether we're coming or going with that short-handed. I mean, Ray's only got one he can use for a start, and Len and Terry are down at the sides.
Well, where do you suggest I go?
Look, leave it with me. I'll see if I can get Ray to do a one-handed job on it.
Well, will you do what you can, kid? I've got enough on my plate without that.
Autumn sales coming up, are they?
Not only that, you've heard about Gail, haven't you?
Yeah, being named in this divorce.
Oh, not just that. She's got the push.
She's not.
Oh, she has just.
What happened?
Oh, love, I'm dropping on my feet.
Well, take the weight off them then.
Oh.
Who's give it sack, Mrs. Matthews?
Yes, and you know what for? Not just for having a good time, but for having a good time with her boyfriend.
Oh, the rotten devil.
Chucky, as much as I would love to stay in this charming little office, I've got to get back to the grindstone. I already popped out for a bite to eat, and I better get back there. Look, if you've got 5 minutes to spare, will you pop round and see Gail? It'll cheer her up a bit.
Hey, hang on a minute. Can she sack her for that?
Well, she has done, hasn't she?
Yeah, but I went to school with this girl, and she got her cards at factory she worked at. I don't know, it was something to do with where she did her hair. Anyway, she went to the industrial tribunal, and they're to give her a job back.
Now, just a minute. There were 1 or 2 rows at Mark Britton's over something like that. No, not the same thing at all. No, I'm afraid Gail hasn't got a leg to stand on.
Well, it's worth trying. You never know your luck.
I tell you, I can feel it in me bones.
It could be rheumatism.
Answer me one question. Did Bet say or did Bet not say? You must be joking.
She never stopped talking.
Yeah, but this was after he was talking about making a fortune. You must be joking, she said. And here it is, first race. You must be joking. It's an omen, isn't it?
Ah, well, I don't go much on these hunches myself.
Well, what do you suggest we do then? Go on form? I mean, he didn't even know when the blooming dog track opened.
Oh, give over, will you, Perry? Walking it!
Oh, I'm sorry, Fred, I never saw it.
You didn't look.
Hey, come on!
Hey! Take it back what you said.
I'll take it all back, Terry. You're a flipping marble.
Hey, come on, let's meet next winner. Come on.
Hey, I've got another feeling in my bones.
Yeah.
This is going to be a flipping night to remember.
I'll say.
Look, it's easy when you know how. Look, that is the formula, right? I'll show you again. A plus D minus B plus C squared. That's multiplied by itself for the benefit of the ignorant.
But what's all these A and B's?
Oh, give me strength. Look, A is the dog's age in months, right? B is the number of letters in its mother's name. Its mother's, mind you, not its father's.
Did he run the race and close the track before you'd worked that out?
Look, with a form book and a pocket calculator, any mug can work it out. I'm telling you, that is a working system. You ask Charlie Lockhart.
Who's he when he's at home?
Charlie Lockhart? Only the greatest exponent of dog racing the world has ever known.
And where did you meet him?
Yeah, well, we shared accommodation in Walton, you know. He had this theory about prison grub, you see. He reckoned it was slowly poisoning him, so he gave up his secret just before he died. Well, for a couple of quid.
And he's still alive?
Yeah.
What was he doing in Walton if he was such a little genius?
He got nicked breaking into the bookies.
Trying to get his money back, was he?
Yeah, well, now that you mention it, it could have been that.
Yeah.
Hi, is there Eddie in?
Over here, darling. It's my aftershave, you know.
Is it? There you are.
What's that?
Half a dozen papers you never delivered.
I delivered every one you give me.
Not to the right addresses you didn't, because I've had their disappointed readers on the phone blaming me. So off you go, they're all marked up.
Look, can't we just stick them down the Kazi and tell the disappointed readers there's been a newspaper strike?
If you're going to do a job, do it properly, especially as you're getting paid.
Thought you'd say that. Oh, yes, yes. Hey, if I'm not back, don't worry, some woman will have dragged me in.
Don't worry, we won't worry.
It'll be your aftershave, love.
Yeah.
Aftershave smells more like rotting veg to me.
Oh, that'll be a bit off today, are we, Albert?
Mind your own business.
If I wasn't that rubbish at Corrie, you smell like a produce market on Hot Friday.
Rummy neck. You having one?
Aye, heck.
Well, it makes no odds to me, only I just thought I'd share my good fortune with you.
That's what you made your good fortune for the expense of the Derby and Joan clubs. You can keep your drink.
I will blow you then. Give us a rum.
Hey, one more word out to you, and I'll be over that counter and give you tidying of your life.
What's up with you?
Coming in here, shouting the odds at our lady customers, and you ask me what's up? Where do you want him, Mrs. Sharples? Casualty ward at Weatherfield General?
Oh, do job proper. Archieologist's Chapel Arrest.
Right, stand back you, I'm coming over. Forget it this time, I'll get you a rum.
Well, has the world gone flaming mad?
Three fries, please. What do you reckon?
Hang on a second, I'm not the brain of bread, you know. 43 quid a minute.
Hey, 43 quid, that's better than kicking the teeth, isn't it?
And we're fairly begun, you know.
Come on, get these down.
I hope you don't mind me interrupting your little celebration, but like they say where I come from, all the world loves a winner.
Lover.
I beg your pardon.
All the world loves a lover.
Now that's what you say, but you don't come from where I come from.
Oh, where's that then?
Where do you think?
Czechoslovakia.
Right first time. If I may pick so bold as to say you've got a good eye for a dog. Come to think of it, you've got 6 good eyes.
Ah, what we don't know about dog racing. Do you know, my old pal? This year marks the 50th anniversary of the introduction of dog racing to this country.
As it happens, sir, I do know. Joe Mooney's the name, owner, trainer, and aficionado of the gentle art of greyhounds.
You got any dogs here tonight?
Only the ones beaten by a few feet in the last race. Fred's Folly.
Well, then they put a packet on that.
It's a sad tale all round, sir. He's the only dog I got in England, and here he'd have to stay.
Right, going back to Czechoslovakia?
I am, sir. My eternal grandmother, God bless her, is heading for the last few days of a long and a happy life, so it's Castle Connell for me. That's a lovely wee place, on the River Shannon.
And you can't take dog with you, no?
Oh, not with the quarantine laws the way they are, sir. No, I'm looking for a good home for him. Hey, I don't suppose you'd like to add him to your stable. I mean, you're obviously dog owners yourselves.
Dog owners. No. Hey, I'll tell you what we'll do, though. We'll buy another drink.
I'd be honoured to accept, sir. Sure, it's not every day I find myself in company with the cracks as good as this.
Get him.
Slaunch him.
Good luck.